Hi, Minna Vener. Welcome back, my friends, to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I'm here to do another Aurora reaction. It's been a while since I did my very first reaction to Aurora through the eyes of a child. I actually went back uh, right before I started recording and watched that performance again that I reacted to, and it was, I think, even more touching than it was before. And I think it's just because of some of the things that are going on in my life. And I think that's the wonderful thing about music is that, we feel things differently depending on where we're at and what we're going through and how things hit us at a specific time in our lives. I'm excited to move forward and react to more Aurora songs. This one looks like it's pretty amazing. Runaway was written when Aurora was like 11 or 12, is what I read, which is crazy. So I'm going from one child prodigy to another here with my reactions, it looks like. And actually, both of them are Norwegian. So it's just the way that it worked out. But this Runaway was written by Aurora, of course, and Magnus Skellstad. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And I found an interesting quote. I found this. It says Aurora wrote the song between the ages of 11 and 12. It is a song about escape and realizing you want to get home again. In an interview with the 405, she said, "It's strange how this song fits my life better now than I could have ever imagined when I wrote the song itself. It's about how important it is to have a soft place to fall." So I get the sense that she's a lot about your feelings and being able to cope with the things that happen in life through looking through the eyes of a child and through being able to finding different ways to escape and kind of go to your own place of peace and that type of thing. So let's go through the lyrics and we'll talk a little bit about it. The lyrics are, "I was listening to the ocean. I saw a face in the sand, but when I picked it up, then it vanished away from my hands. Down. I had a dream I was 7, climbing my way in a tree. I saw a piece of heaven, waiting impatient for me, down. And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. I was dancing in the rain. I felt alive, and I can't complain. But now take me home where I belong. I can't take it any more. I was painting a picture. The picture was a painting of you. And for a moment I thought you were here. But then again, it wasn't true. Down. And all this time I have been lying. Oh, lying in secret to myself. I've been putting sorrow on the farthest place on my shelf. And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday?" This is the chorus here, it looks like. "But now take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. Now take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. Now take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore. But I kept running for a soft place to fall, and I kept running for a soft place to fall." And it repeats itself. So there's more of a repeat of the chorus. "Home where I belong, no, no, now take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore." I think the reason that she said in that quote that she could relate to it more at the time she said that than she could before is that the life of someone like her, where you become a star and super successful at an early age, has got to be hard. You long for like that sense of normalcy, that sense of belonging, that sense of being at home and being with your family and doing those things, right? Because you're doing a lot of things on the road and it's a little bit different as far as the lifestyle. So that could be why she can relate to it that much more. The other thing that was cool that I read about this video of the song that they made is that Billie Eilish said in a quote, one of the reasons she actually decided to pursue music was from actually, seeing this video and experiencing this song. So that's pretty cool, considering what she's done. So again, thank you all for your support, and I really appreciate your patience and waiting for me to kind of get back on track here and start to do reactions again. As I said I would, I'm trying to do more in the time that I have and try to get back on track. I'll do some new artists. So if you have suggestions for new artists, please put those in the comments down below. There's always going to be those, and I've mentioned these before, but the people that are super negative. And if you're one of those individuals and you have something constructive to say or an opinion about the way that I do things on my channel, I can take that. If you're respectful and you just state your opinion, then those comments will stay intact on my channel. I'm not going to get rid of those because that's just you sharing your opinion. If your comments are super negative and rude and degrading, then you will find that your comments will be hidden from my channel. There's no place on this channel or in my life for negativity and rudeness and all of that. I just I don't. That's part of why I have this channel. The whole premise of my channel is music lights the world. There's no light involved with those types of interactions and comments. So, but anyway, I do have a different style of reacting. So I try to kind of set the expectation at the beginning of my reactions to say, if you're one of those people that likes reactors that just watch the entire video and then kind of do crazy faces or fall out of their chair or, things like that, and then say like a few words at the end and that's their reaction, then my channel is definitely not the right channel for you. I really try to put all that I can into, analyzing what's happening with the voice, but also trying to feel what the artist is communicating. And that's part of why I go through the lyrics at the beginning. And that's the way I look at it. You're here to see a reaction. You're here to see analysis from my point of view as far as being a classical singer and classically trained vocalist. So that's the way I try to approach my channel. And I would encourage you to watch to the very end or skip to the end because I have some special words I normally say at the end of my videos that I always hope can help those that are out there and that may be struggling or need some encouragement. So just a heads up on that. If you haven't already, if you could please subscribe. I checked the YouTube statistics, and apparently only 10% of those that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're a return viewer and you like my reactions and you want to see more, then please just click on the subscribe. There's no obligation there as far as financially or otherwise, if you're not aware of how subscribing works. But it's just a nice way to support the channel, and the notifications are nice because then you can hear about it when I post new reactions. Anyway, with that, let's jump right in here and see Aurora sing Runaway here.
I was listening to the ocean. I saw a face in the sand. But when I picked it up, then it vanished away from my hands. Done. I had a dream I was 7, climbing my way in a tree. I saw a piece of heaven waiting impatient for me. Done. And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. And I was dancing in the rain. I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home where I belong.
Wow. Her voice just has this like lilting quality to it. It's like kind of haunting, it's just really, it's got a really bright timbre to it. And the way that the human voice works, part of what controls the brightness or darkness of the sound, there's a lot of different variables, but one of those things is the larynx. So if the larynx is a little higher, then typically the sound will be a little bit brighter. So when you hear someone darkening up their tone, sometimes they're lowering their larynx, and they're doing other things, like they might, push their tongue back or close off the sound with the way that they are forming the vowels with their mouth, and this whole part of it as well. So there's different things that can brighten or darken the sound, but she just has a very bright, lilting tone to her voice. And when she does some of those runs, like where she was jumping up there, you could hear her kind of jump into her head voice and then come back. It almost has kind of a yodeling effect to it because of the way that she does it. It was on the phrase like right before this, I think. But it just has a real, and I saw when I was reading about the song and some of the different styles the song was kind of targeted for, there was a folk element that was mentioned there, and I really do pick up on that with this song, that kind of a folk element to it, in the way that the phrasing and everything is laid out. So let me go back a little bit, so I'm sure not to miss anything. She's amazing though, so gifted. I love her voice.
Dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore. I was painting.
That was a cool dynamic right there.
The picture was a painting of you, and for a moment I thought you were here, but then again it wasn't true. And all this time I have been lying in secret to myself. I've been putting sorrow on the forest place on my shelf. And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. And I was
right there, you see that?
in the rain. I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home.
That's cool.
Take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home.
Hear that, Joe?
Take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go.
Yeah, she's just so free. This is part of where she kind of reminds me of Angelina in a way, because she's just born to perform. Like, I saw the same thing in Through the Eyes of a Child. She just was completely in her element on the stage, and you see the same thing here in the video. She's not forcing anything. She's not, none of it looks choreographed. It just looks like her expressing herself naturally and expressing what the song means to her and the story of the lyric. And that's really what makes a complete impactful artist, from what I've said it before, but she's just, it's crazy. And I think she's around 19 here, if I remember right, because she was born in 96. So at such a young age to be this good. Let me go back a little bit. But hopefully you heard what I was talking about when she jumps up into her falsetto or her head voice. She does it in a way, and it just carries like this really light sound to it. I'd love to hear if she has a song where she kind of takes on a little bit more of like a mixed sound up in her head voice, where she kind of adds a little more power behind it when she's kind of up in that higher register. If you have a suggestion for a song like that, I'm interested to hear kind of what she sounds like when she's doing that. So please put that in the comments if there is something like that. If she doesn't ever do that and this is just part of her style, then I'm okay with that as well. But just curious.
I was dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take
That's a
me
cool
home.
rhythm.
Take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore. But I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place
It's a
to
cool
fall.
harmony.
And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday? But no, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home
That's cool.
where I belong. No, take me home where I belong. No, take me home where I belong.
Sorry, that was kind of a bad spot to stop. I like the doubling effect that she's got going on right here, with where she's kind of doubling up on the part that she's singing, and kind of that echoey effect. And all the harmonies in this have been exquisite. I know I would guess that a lot of them are her voice singing different parts, but at the beginning there were some male voices in there as well. I always love to kind of hear that with the harmonies and things like that. But yeah, she has really good instincts, like some of the other younger artists that I've reacted to, as far as the phrasing and kind of mixing it up, the dynamics, not singing the same dynamic through the whole thing, and adding little, I call them little colorations or things like that, where, she's doing little runs or little extended notes, and jumping up, from one note to the other and back and things like that. And also kind of, sliding into the notes. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of like slides, but the way she does it, I actually don't mind it. It's a good way to do it. It doesn't sound bad, like it can if it's not done correctly. So very nice. We'll get back to the end of it here. Wow. Yeah, so that was awesome. I can see why it's got close to 280 million views. Um, it's really a cool song, and she showed her abilities again as far as just her natural ability to just emote and really carry across the message and showcase her unique style, her unique voice. It's very distinctive, and as I kind of talked about during the course of the video, with just that kind of unique, bright sound that she has, and the way that she kind of, does some of her vocalizations and things like that, um, and also just the purity and the simpleness, but yet the relatability of her lyrics, right? I mean, we all have that desire to have a soft place to land, right? Uh, a place to call home, a way to escape. We all need that. Uh, we all need that, time with our families. We need, our time off from our jobs, all those different things, and we need to have a safe haven to go to. And that's really what I, as a dad, have tried to provide for my three boys is, a place for them to have a refuge from the world and the cares and challenges that they face out there, because it can get rough with everything going on in the world right now. So it's refreshing to see an artist that gets that and is really grounded and rooted in the things that are truly important in this world, having those solid roots, having a place to call home, a family, which is, my opinion as far as that, the core unit of society, the core most important thing that can help us to be happy in this life is a strong family and a strong bond with our loved ones and our family. So these things are very important. And what I want to say that I have said in almost all of my reactions, at the end of my reactions, is I want to reach out to all of you out there and say that you are special, you are loved, and you can accomplish your dreams. And I hope that you feel loved and that you feel like you belong, and that you are happy. There are things in our lives that come that make it hard sometimes to be happy, but it's important to find a way to grow and learn from the things that happen to us, and to develop wisdom through the things that we face and overcome. And for me, I call a lot on the higher power, or God, however you want to believe in that entity. I call him Heavenly Father, but whatever that is for you, that has helped me immensely in my life. And I feel that I have a relationship with God, and I've felt his help in my life and his guidance, and him strengthening me through some of the challenges that I've faced. And I hope that you can each have that in your lives, whatever that is for you. And I look forward to more Aurora reactions. Please put in the comments your recommendations for what to go to next. As I've said before, and those of you that have seen my reactions know, I do like to keep it as close as I can to kind of following the timeline. So this was from 2015, I think. So something from that, around that time frame, I'd like to kind of have as my next reaction, and then, kind of move forward in her journey. But anyway, I'll cut this short, and thank you again for all of your support, and coming back to kind of the comments. A majority of the comments I get are very positive and supportive, and I appreciate that. And I hope to continue to build our relationship and build out my channel and provide really quality content for all of you. And thank you again, and take care.